Alright gang, I am Gull2112, an early adopter of the Battleground game. I'm assuming you can hear the stormy background. It's actually dark and stormy outside. Appropriate. For the latest Battleground deck, the faction is Lords of Vlachold. Now I have a very erratic and spotty knowledge of Slavic pronunciation, and we'll couple that with my Minnesota accent to give all kinds of interesting new ways to pronounce names of these units. Now I was very excited yesterday when I received my package in the mail. Got 2 sets of movement strips, very nice. I was really excited to get a total of 10 dice. And appropriately the dice have this blood symbol on the one spot. But let's get into the meat, as it were. All right. We have the quick start rules. So you can jump right in. Then we have the full main rulebook. Now it tells you right in the beginning the book is intended to be a reference manual. And I like that because it, okay, there's a lot of rules, but it's not so it's so complicated, but they want to explain things clearly. The fact that this book is designed to be a reference, not a teaching aid, is a great factor, because once you've read this book and you basically know how to play, you just need to check up on things once in a while in this book. This book is easy to find things in. Cool. Here you have the very basic concepts. This is actually, I'm used to the old sets which came in a little miniature booklet on essentially cheap paper. This is very nicely printed. You may not be able to read it because it's glossy and I have bright lights to do my filming on. But I'm actually very excited to see these. Here we've got 2 decks worth of cards. Here are your units, here are your action cards, and here are the in-game reference cards. Those are the general ones. These 2 explain the Vlachold abilities, and these 3 explain the keywords. And I like that they've separated this out, because to try to feed these keyword definitions into the rules make the rules very difficult to understand. But once you understand the keywords, then you can easily understand the abilities. This is what I've done for the unit cards. These are your core, your standard, and your elite. Now what's often an issue with the new faction is you want to make sure you have enough core. And sometimes that's tough because there's very limited choice for how many core you have. This faction has 5 core units. You have the Voynich Swordsman at 190 points. You got Kurteni Halberdiers, Jagani Hillfolk, Voynich Spearmen, and Voynich Crossbowmen topping out the list at 233 points. So your core are around 200 points, a little over. That's a great way to fill your army. Now in the standard troops, the Voynich Thralls cost 148 points. That's great. When you don't have a low expense unit, say you're playing with the High Elves, it can be very hard to get your point total up towards your maximum point total for whatever scenario you're playing, whether it's 1500, 2000, or what. So you've got the Voynich Thralls, Kurteni Heavy Archers, Market's Bloodstalkers, Tempest Lords, and Werewolf packs for 321 points. So 148, 190, 221, 315, 321. And for the elites, now the elites are really the interesting parts of it and most unique of each army. Here you have the Warriors of the Mist for 341 points. Warriors of the Mist are ghostly shades. They have a lot of powers, but their movement category, one of the critical ones, is their movement category is unaffected by terrain. They move 3.5 inches no matter what. Or excuse me, one long side no matter what. You have your knights, the Voivod Knights, 373 points. And then you have Dagon, the first Vovoid. This must be the biggest, baddest dude. He's unique. There's only one of him. Here he is with his retainers. And you'll notice that you get 3 of them. What are you going to do with 3 uniques? The bonus ones are spares in case you damage one, in case your dog, your cat decides they want to play for a while. That's nice. That's nice if you got some spares. Plus, if you're you want more of something else, you can always have this stand in as a proxy. If you have a huge, 4,000 point game going on. The artwork is stunning. Here are the knights. Look at that. Pretty cool. Warriors in the mist. Vapory, kind of the vapor warriors. You have a pack of werewolves. Very expensive. And they're with permanent clothes. They have to be on clothes, which lowers their points. And your points are already at 321. So imagine how powerful they must be. These are cool. These are the Tempest Lords. With this, if I can get the flare out of there. With their flayed musculature armor. This is intense. So there's the units. This faction, with all its special abilities and keywords, will reward familiarity and deep play. You can play some very subtle games with this. I like this kind of depth. Now here you have their action deck. There's all your standard actions that everybody gets for offensive, defensive. Then you can imagine these. I don't need to describe. You've got desperation, tenacity, a couple dogged toughness, couple red harvest with that flayed musculature armor, fatalism for those philosophically inclined, and undying scorn. That sounds fun. It makes me wonder, it would be fascinating to see the Dark Elves fighting the Lords of Vlachold. How dark can it get? Very cool. There you have it, my friends. The new Lords of Vlachold faction deck. A final mention, in these quick start rules, you're given a setup scenario to play. And this helps because assuming this is the only deck you have, how are you going to fight? Well, they show you. You got a revolt scenario. You get to set up and ready to go. Thank you.